All right, hi everybody. I'm Doorlooker. With me is BlazingSun,
Hello, hello.
and this is Spanky's Quest. Take a listen to this title music.
It's blaring in my ears right now.
This is good music. Do you know anything about Spanky's Quest?
No. There's a monkey. You see
There
that?
it is.
And no idea.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it once or twice, maybe. I think you had mentioned it, but I've got no idea.
Yeah, so I went to options here, but really the only reason I did it was to hear this kick-in title music again. So good.
It is pretty good, but it looks like you're waiting for a little. You got
Yeah.
strawberries in the background.
All right, here comes. This is our story. I hope you like deeply textured and layered stories.
I do. So it's not Final Fantasy,
All right.
but that's okay.
Here we are. This is Spanky. He's got some rad sideburns, I think.
Our classic music here. No. So was he in like a tube world or those?
those are trees.
Okay, just making sure.
So,
Okay, so
yeah, what I think they were going for is he was in the forest and a tower was built around him.
so he was in a coma, if you will, for probably a couple months.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they have the building power of China.
Yeah. Well, if my powers of
manpower.
perception aren't failing me, witchcraft may have been involved.
I see the
Yes,
witch.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
And her shadow disappears early, which always bothered me as a child.
Yeah, the birds just kind of.
So now Spanky freaks out, and there's awesome music to go with it.
When did this game come out again?
This came out in 1991.
91. All right, so this is the breakdance era,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah, so the fruits...
Donkey Kong was kind of the same way.
Yes, that's right. So the fruits came out of his backpack, and they came alive. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did. Now, are they good, bad, or
They're bad.
otherwise?
So here are the mechanics.
That's kind of that's
Spanky...
the child's playing this game.
Yeah. Spanky can throw
They're
bubbles.
gonna hate vegetables.
If the bubbles hit an enemy, they get
Uh-huh.
stuck.
All right.
If you throw the bubble and hit attack again, a sport equipment will come out.
All right.
Spherical sport equipment. So the standard bubble turns into a baseball.
Okay.
And what we want to do is we want to kill the fruits and get the keys.
Okay.
That is the whole game.
So this is the anti screw you parents. I'm not eating my fruits or vegetables.
Yeah, well,
Because I'm extreme of the 90s.
yes, as we'll
Got
see,
it.
there are some enemies later where it's debatable whether they are fruits or vegetables. So perhaps you can help me figure out their identity.
Okay.
So I'm killing these melon men.
Well, melons are good people, though.
Yeah, well,
So this is-
they had the keys and they didn't give them to me. As you can see, the door has 2 locks. I have 2 keys. Here I go.
I guess there's some bad apples in the bunch. Oh. All right. So we got some tangerines.
I
it looks
think
like,
they're
tomatoes.
oranges, but maybe you're right. I don't know.
I think it's tomatoes.
So you see, I bounce the bubble off my head.
Yeah.
The blue bubble becomes a green bubble. There it
Ah,
goes. And
that's
the
kinda
green
like a
bubble
weapon
bursts
upgrade.
into soccer balls or footballs, depending on where you live.
Now, how do you make a football?
Well, we're going to see. Perhaps there are footballs. Here we go. You see the soccer balls follow an arc, and they stay on screen for quite a bit longer than the baseball. Much easier to hit.
Now, is it only the initial soccer ball that...
No, if they run
Causes
into any of
damage?
them, they'll take damage.
Got it.
Now, you might be wondering why I'm not going in that door.
I am wondering, because we have 3
Yes,
keys.
Spanky will demonstrate.
Oh,
Yes. Unpopped bubbles will reveal secrets.
gotcha.
So if I had turned those into baseballs, we would not have found that secret. So here's the bonus level. So if you were ever a child and you were in the vicinity of a balloon, you know how to play this game. Simple.
Kind of like a beach ball bouncing up and down on your
Yeah,
head.
it's simple. Keep it up.
Yeah. Now, how do you get... I'm assuming you... kind of like Mario mechanics, you get an extra life after a certain amount?
Yes, if I complete the bonus level, I will get an extra life. So you see, the slightest variation of where you stand will send that sphere bouncing off at quite an angle. So I was lucky there. I managed to get it before it went off screen.
It was a little challenging.
But notice how many keys that door took. It only took 1. And I had 3, so I now have 2 surplus keys.
So now you're ahead of the game.
Absolutely. All right.
Now this Spanky...
So the yellow ball, as you see, turns into these volleyballs, which move around in this nice circular pattern and kills everything in their path. Just very.
So now you just got a bubble upgrade.
Yeah. Every time you bounce it off your head, you upgrade your bubble.
So before you were just choosing to use the stock.
Right. And that's me playing poorly right now. Now you may not have noticed, but when Spanky pops that bubble, he does freeze in place for a moment. I think you'll see it in just a second. So as soon as I pop this ball, there he goes. Yeah. So that does affect your mobility, which it's not a huge issue, but it is against certain bosses, which we'll talk about later. Now, I did go the long way, but since I know the secret, I can do this. Destructible terrain, 1991. That's right.
I'm getting ahead of the game here.
All right, so those things on the floor, those are called star springs. You can just ride them up. They work pretty much like.
Now, how come you didn't kill that orange guy?
Yes, I only stunned him because I had not turned the bubble into a ball.
Right.
So now I'm going to do the maximum, which is the orange. See, it's big, doesn't get any bigger, and you pop it, it becomes basketballs.
So what is? Well, I guess we'll talk about monkeys and springs later. Yeah.
So if you throw a bubble into certain star springs, you get some bonuses, some bonus coins and a 1-up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Alright, so these are some new enemy. These are the lemons.
Now, lemons are sour, so I can totally see this.
Yeah, see, and they make angry faces. Now, lemons can only move on the X and Y axis, and lemons, I guess it's chosen at their birth whether they do it or not. Because they only ever move one way. Now, if you saw that, I used the bubble to get the key, and it automatically turned into an orange bubble.
So it's like a bonus.
Yeah. And since I killed 6 of those lemons in a row, I got a 10,000 point bonus.
Hot damn.
Yeah, and if I get 100,000 points, I get an extra life.
And it seems pretty easy, to get a life. This looks like it's a combination of Bubble Bobble meets pre-Mario, Super Nintendo kind of.
Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty good description. So we have our first hat of the game. It's our first hat and also the best hat.
Why do we get hats?
Well, watch this.
Okay.
It makes me look dapper, and instant orange bubble.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm going to get that 10,000 bonus again.
Now, you said there were footballs in the game.
No, I said there might be. There are no footballs. Full disclosure, no footballs.
So, okay. So we can't really make any connections.
No.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know you are a sports liker, which I am not. Is there any time in a game of basketball where there are 5 balls on the court?
Unless you're, not really, unless you're doing some sort of Harlem Globetrotters.
I see.
Kind of thing, but, or if you're in warm-ups, or I guess, but in a real game, no, it's 1 ball.
1 ball, all the time.
1 ball, all the time.
Now, you see these cans. Now, when you kill a certain amount of enemies, those cans will activate, and more enemies will appear on screen. So those are pretty simple. There's another bonus star spring here. Grab another life. We're up to 5.
And I notice we've still had a good surplus.
Yeah, we have quite a surplus. We're going to be keeping that surplus pretty much till the end game. It is going to grow. So these are kiwis. I think they're kiwis. They look like that anyway.
They look like kiwis.
So if they're on the same plane as you, the same level as you, they will charge you. So it makes them a little more difficult than other enemies, but also more predictable.
Oh, that's good. The keys are somewhat magnetized.
Yes, if you kill an enemy with a key, the key does come directly to you. No need to fetch it. And those kiwis are dead.
Yeah, music is really
yeah, and it's good too because you hear this one track for 11 levels, so it's a good thing that it is a good track.
Well, they spent a lot of time on the music in the background.
Yeah. So here's another secret. Up here, going to another bonus round. So the bonus round is rather easy in this first world. Really nothing much to it. just going to bounce this bubble. Now, I'm not moving a whole lot because, as I said before, you really need to hit it right in the center or else it's going to go bouncing off at a crazy angle and you're not going to recover. So later worlds will make this bonus more challenging.
I hope so.
Yeah, right now it's pretty simple.
Flawless. I guess you're getting the game mechanics down.
Yeah, I have been playing this since 1991 as well, so...
Well, that sounds like a personal
Yeah, I hope I'm good at this game.
But, yeah, that's okay.
Alright, now I have no idea what these are. I call them fuzzies.
Horseradishes, maybe?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Horseradish? I think that's what they are.
Perhaps. They are immune to being stunned when they're in their fuzzy form.
Yeah.
In their fuzzy form, they're also immune to baseballs. Which is strange because every other ball will still kill them.
And the baseball's the hardest.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't get it. Interesting design decision.
I'm not sure if it was an interesting design decision or just poorly execution. Because that's retarded.
So
I think they're horseradishes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my final answer.
So as you can see, that conspicuous 2x3 brick formation very clearly leads to another bonus.
Yeah. So they really don't make it. Really make it.
Yeah.
hard.
If you see that 2x3 combination, you pretty much know there's a bonus door there.
I'm glad this game is exhilarating.
Yeah, I know. It really gets your blood pumping. Now, I do promise you, this game does get more difficult. The later worlds are indeed challenging.
Careful.
Yeah, and if you jump right as you pop it, you can grab all that stuff and not have to go chasing after it. Alright, another enemy here. These are the strawberries.
Like they spin a little.
Yeah, they spin and then they comb their hair, which I love.
So they're a feminine strawberry.
Well, they might be girls.
Right, yeah. Or they could be homosexual.
That's fine. We're cool with that. That's me getting hit by the strawberry.
You gotta test it. You gotta taste it out.
That's right. And you notice when I get hit, I don't. There's no.
Yeah, notice you don't really have a health bar.
Right. Everything is in terms of those lives. If you get hit, a life gets taken away, but you continue playing from where you are, which is nice.
So that's gotta kind of be tough, though. In terms of being a boss, I suppose. You have one little life left.
Right, and here we see our first boss.
Okay.
Creatively titled Boss 1.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's more of a... This definitely looks like a bad apple.
Yeah. See, that's perfect. He looks kind of like Kefka, if Kefka were an apple. Yeah, not bad. So when I was a kid, I always liked using the volleyballs for the bosses. And I think it's just because that's me playing really badly. The volleyballs hold them in place. But I wasn't sure if it actually did more damage. I didn't know if it did damage over time or if it just was one hit, and that was all it counted. I recently...
looks like it definitely does more damage.
Yeah, I tested it on a later boss, and the volleyball definitely does more damage than even the basketballs. So for the bosses, volleyball is definitely the way to go.
Unless you're in a situation where you have to use a baseball mitt.
Yes, and there will be a boss who requires that exact situation. So not much to say about that guy. He goes to the top of the screen. You follow his eyes, and it'll show you where... Oh, never mind, he's dead.
He definitely was a bad apple.
There he goes. So just like the bonuses, he gives you 1-up and a bunch of bonus coins, which I missed 1 of, and I'm very sad.
You should.
So that's World 1. That's the garden. And that's done.
Alright. Still don't understand why we're fighting fruits, but I guess we'll figure that out later.
Well, you might be surprised.
I hope so.
Alright, so this is World 2. And, I guess we'll see you later. So what did you think of Spanky's Quest?
Pretty interesting so far. I didn't even know this game existed. I think I maybe had seen you play it once. It could have been fun.
Yeah, this is...
But, I think you'd mentioned it about using the balls, and I was very confused. I guess a lot of the games in the 90s, especially like Super Mario World and the football player and, getting the checkpoints, it really didn't make any much sense to me. But, I hope there's a lot more to this.
We have quite a few worlds.
This game looks like it was meant for 6-year-olds.
Well, conveniently, I was indeed 6 when this came out.
Well, that could be it. How many worlds are there?
There are 5 worlds.
Okay.
And then, I guess we'll see after that.
I guess we will see. It's kind of like a Yoshi's Story preemptive kind of letdown, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm going to let you down preemptively.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I think you might have been let down when you saw the title screen.
I was let down a little bit. I thought it was going to be something a little bit better. Something called Spanky's Quest. I think it's just a horrible, horrible title.
Yeah, Spanky the monkey, no less.
Spank and the monkey, and the monkey playing sports. Very racist, very very sexual, if you will. So
I don't know where you're getting the sexual part. Really, I don't know where you're coming from at all with that, but that's okay.
You're spanking your... I'm not going to get
all
into
right,
it, but that's okay.
See you in episode 2.
See you in episode 2.
All right.